Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to see another great video on Leanademy. Hi, I'm Lauren Heisey. I am the main trainer and coach at Leanademy, and I'm excited to share with you another video today. This is around the improve phase. This is part of the white belt series that I'm doing. So let's just jump right in. Let's talk about improve. So we talked about define, right? We define the problem, then we measured the problem, then we analyze it. Now we're going to figure out how do we improve that problem. So some of the things we're going to take a look at in this video is lean tools to help us solve problems, right? We're going to look to try to figure out how do we become better problem solvers. At the end of the day, that's what lean, when I think about lean and even Six Sigma, is how do we become problem solvers? A lot of times when I'm as a consultant, people are looking to me for the solutions, but really in reality, people that do the work have the solutions. They just need to be empowered to do some of that problem solving. We're going to talk about improvement solutions, developing ways to improve those root causes, and then implementing them, right? Those action plans to implement solutions. So let's talk about lean tools. We're going to talk about Kaizen, continuous improvement. I'm going to stop here and just address something real quick. There are things around Kaizen events. Kaizen events are great for rapid improvements. Sometimes it's people can do them. I usually say try to do those in person. It's almost like you're taking the analyze and improve and putting it together in a week time frame versus trying to do it all virtually over a period of time. Sometimes you only have maybe one day to meet, but that you can get so much done by doing a Kaizen event. But just remember, Kaizen events are about continuous improvement. It is not about making people upset. When I think about Kaizen, I think about empowering people. So I just want you to keep that in mind. So now that we've exposed the waste and non-value add within a process, we've done that through current state value stream mapping. We did it through Gamble walks, 5S, and visual management. Now we're going to figure out how to also control the process, right? So we use lean tools here to kind of help with that. Future state value stream mapping, see how we use value mapping here within the measure phase and in the improve phase. But we're using 5S again. We're talking about mistake proofing, which is Pokio, standardized work, visual management, quick changeover, pull systems, and just in time. So 5S is a great tool. It's especially great for helping you to identify the waste. And we do that with, sort and set in order. And then to improve, we look at shine and then standardize, and then we try to sustain, right? So it's a structured approach and it's a well-organized workplace. Like I said, we just talked about this sort, set in order, shine, and standardize, and sustain. It's great to use within a workplace to stop the causes of errors and defects. It's interesting when you have and I'll show you a couple examples, but if you don't have your workplace sorted and set in order, and you don't shine and standardize and sustain this circle, this is where we start to get into a lot of errors and defects. So what we're trying to do is prevent problems. It provides a clean and organized work area. We're trying to eliminate the waste, right? Eliminate the wasted energy on searching or retrieving things. We're talking about transportation, motion. Some of those lean waste, we're trying to eliminate all those. And we also don't want to spend money spent on extra storage. So think about inventory or that work in progress. So just a couple quick examples. This is more if you think about it in a manufacturing area, or even in a not manufacturing, but like in a workshop or something. You could even think about this as your garage or closet before it's all messy. You don't know where anything is. Whereas after you've done a 5S, you can kind of see where everything is. In an office environment, you can see how messy the desk is on here on the right. And then now we have a clean desk. I'm just trying to give you some visual examples. But you can also do this within SharePoint. You can go clean up all your folders, organize how you do your folders, and you can do it for the whole entire organization, where everybody kind of puts everything in the same place and you standardize things. You can use it when you're looking at legal documents, the same thing. Kind of visualize organized folders in a workspace, kind of like this picture here, or even this here, but just in a cloud environment. So let's talk about error proofing. How do we prevent errors from happening from the first place? So that's where we mistake proof the process. So we stop what you're looking at, stopping mistakes before they happen. Stops the defects from even happening. So examples are car safety features. I love these new car safety features that we have. They're there to help prevent us from, getting into accidents. Spell check is another great thing. Leak-proof bottles, power outlets, right? Many plugs are designed to be inserted into an outlet with one orientation. Think about USB plugs. Drop-down selection menus. So that way, instead of having free-form fields, you have a drop-down selection that then with the drop-down selection, you know that you have a little bit control over what's chosen. And of course, then we have required fields, manufacturing systems, detecting the wrong tools or materials, and then of course, inspection lists. I do cautious using inspection lists a little bit, but those inspection lists do help. You can automate those. Those inspection lists are great when we're working in a transactional environment. So think about, as a kid, right? We used to have fun with these little building blocks. It's the same thing, right? You would put the building block into the hole in order to get into the bucket. So that's kind of like what mistake proofing is about. We're going to use visual management. A lot of my clients or even my students have never used visual management. There's different ways you can use it, but it's basically you can see the performance for every process instructions. And it's easy way for everyone to see what's going on, right? So you can control the work and the process that's happening almost in real time. I know some of my clients have we use dashboards first thing in the morning, but they don't look at it at the end of the day. They don't look at it throughout the day. So when you're using a visual management control chart or even just a dashboard to see how work is doing, it can be used in a manufacturing or transactional environment. It does not, it really just helps you see what's going on. A lot of call centers are using it now where they can see the number of calls that are being waiting, the average handle time, and then of course drops that are happening, right? And what's the wait time. So this is a big thing that really helps organizations to see what's happening in real time. And then we roll it up into daily, weekly, monthly, and almost yearly. So you can see overall how the organization and how everything is performing. It is an easy way to identify abnormal conditions and exposed waste. So examples are we have job aids. I'm going to use a lot of people don't think about visual management with job aids, but I'm going to use an example of the way, I'm not sure if McDonald's still does this, when McDonald's used to have a visual aid of how to make a McDonald's hamburger, because it had to be very specific, right? I think it had to use so many pickles, so much ketchup and mustard. Having those visual management help employees kind of see what they need to do. And then, of course, then we have, I guess we talked about production control boards, control charts. This is a very simple control chart that can show you, how things are performing over time. So you monitor the process over time. You watch for special causes and common causes, and then you change things as it happens. And what you're doing is you're empowering your employees to fix the defects when they happen instead of waiting a week, months down the line to make those fixes. We also use Kanban. Kanbans you can have Kanban boards, which are great. So it's a balanced workflow, visual tracking of the progress of work, and removes those bottlenecks. A good example of a Kanban that's not using a Kanban board is I'm going to use Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has a way when, especially during their lunch hour, which is where they want to be like number one in the lunch hour, they use weighted trays for the chicken, right? So once the tray gets under a certain weight, then the signal gets, there's a signal that goes back to the kitchen that says, hey, start cooking chicken. So that way the pan is never empty. There's always a continuous flow of chicken. And it's done by weight, so they know what needs to be done. Of course, when it's on a slower time, they cook a lot slower, right? So we don't have cold food. Pull systems. One of my favorite things to talk about is pull versus push. So let's think about push system is basically we are pushing the product or service out to the customer, regardless if the customer wants it or not. But what it does is it creates a lot of work in progress. It creates a lot of overproduction, waiting, and of course, over processing. It also creates a lot of inventory, which is a lot of that WIP. Pull systems, on the other hand, create products and services with a signal that the customer creates. So instead of us pushing a product out or pushing a service out to the customer, even if they may not want it, we do it based on what the customer wants. So basically, a customer is letting you know they are ready for that product or service, and then we deliver it to the customer when they want it. That is the biggest thing I want to say between push and pull systems. The other thing too is a lot of people think they have to continuously keep pushing things out, but that creates a very stressful work environment, and it actually increases the inefficiencies. It increases the cycle time. Whereas if you do a pull system, it's not as like stressful, because you're basically working in balance with what the customer wants. All right, so we're just doing just-in-time workflow, and workflow is determined by customers, so we're not always trying to be hurried up and push things out. So now let's talk about improvement solutions, right? So I'd like to think of things in a toolbox. So I just gave you some lean tools that can help you with some of that problem solving, but it goes beyond that, right? So we have identified our critical X's, right? But now we need to think about in a toolbox approach to develop solutions for those critical X's so we can solve these problems. I think one thing people misunderstand when it comes to Lean Six Sigma, a green belt, a black belt, or a master black belt is not going to tell you to fix things. We are going to facilitate, and we're going to try to help you learn how to problem solve. So if you come up with something that's a quick fix, just go fix it, right? Just go do it. Of course, I just talked about the lean tools. Now we're talking about brainstorming. How you, as a frontline worker, are going to solve these issues? And then, of course, technology is part of that toolbox. But one thing I'm going to caution is if you want to apply those lean tools and process improvements before technology, because you don't want to get caught up in that shiny object trend. Of course, I just want you to think about AI and automation, IoT, and digital twins. Solutions that are chosen should be on the low risk side with high benefits. That is the way to look at it, right? Low risk with high benefits. And that's a lot of times those quick fixes are going to be your quick things to do. Apply those simple solutions first before you have complex solutions. Implementing solutions, time to implement, right? If you're having a Kaizen event, try to implement those solutions during the Kaizen event. You don't want to walk out with an action item list with it's going to take you 6 months, right? We want to be able to do things as quickly as possible. So your action plan provides a visual roadmap of how to get from the current state to that future state, right? So remember, we had a current state value stream map. Now we want to get to the future state. To the future state. I would hit the wrong button there. So part of the action plan actually talks about the project name, lead, champion, process owner, and solutions, right? If you've done the solutions during a Kaizen event, go ahead and put them down here and show what you did and celebrate those accomplishments. But you want to make sure you have an owner, the date started, the due dates, the status, and the risk. You want to make sure if you're leaving a Kaizen event and still have things to implement, you want to make sure that you want to make sure you come out with something. So if you have risk, you have mitigation plans. Actions plans help keep you on track. All right, everyone. I'm so excited to be sharing these videos with you. If you would like to learn more about Leanademy, please click on the link below. And also, please hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button if you'd like to continue to learn more about Leanademy and you want to be notified when we get new videos out there. We will be producing even more of them. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I am Lauren Heisey, and I look forward to sharing another video with you very soon.